Alright people, once again we have a reality check here from Well Aware 1. It pertains to the so-called UCLA campus shooting this morning. I just want to point out some things that I hope you all already realize when you see these things, that of course everything that you see on the TV, it's not the content that you're looking at. It's the network or the conglomerate that owns the network that you have to think about when you're seeing these things. They're showing you whatever they think will get you to come back to the TV and keep you glued to it, while they can show you ads or make you click on banners or things like that. They don't care what the content is. And this is a deal that they have with the law enforcement. And basically, it's business. It's not a conspiracy. There's no law broken here, because these events that you see on the TV that have to do with active shooters and all these other stupid events, they're drills. The drills are for the police to get their practice in, but the media, of course, is part of it, and you can see in the X-Plan document that I, of course, leaked that stopped a school shooting a long time ago, you can see that the media is part of the drill, and basically what happens is the media is there and they take footage, but they don't have to tell you that it was a drill. And they're not going to, because it's legally they don't have to at all. So they tell you whatever they want that'll keep you glued to the screen. Now, the police aren't going to say anything, because it's not their business to mess with the media's business. They could get sued if they were to do something like that. And since there's nobody injured, there's nobody hurt in these events, it's none of their business to tell the news media how they can do their business. So the police, of course, use these fake events to bump up the numbers in the counts of crimes, so they can then, therefore, the next year, go and increase their budgets, or make you think that they're necessary, that they need to get all the new toys, or the latest terrorists, the boogeyman, is going to come get them and not be able to protect your kid. This is all a load of crap, alright? It's all business. It's not a conspiracy, again. It is business. It is the way corporate businesses are set up. Now, when you look at these videos, it's so simple. First off, just to know what's going on. There was a double homicide here at my condo complex. I witnessed it. I heard the shots. I saw the bodies. I took pictures of it. I published it on the web. The police came, of course, because the shooter ran off and got in his car after he killed a guy in point-blank range, and it was a big old mess. But here's what happens. This is in Dallas. So who do you think shows up to a 911 call for multiple shooting or active shooter scenario? The Dallas PD. Do the FBI show up? No. Do the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms show up? No. Do the bomb squad show up? No. How about adjacent towns or adjacent cities, or the highway patrol or the marshal's office? How about any of those? Do they show up? No. Guess why? It's pretty simple. Because it's police jurisdiction. It's a murder. All right? So when you see multiple jurisdictions, multiple agencies that don't show up to typical murders or shootings, they are called in after the fact if the police respond and they find out that there's something that warrants another jurisdiction, such as a federal investigation, or something that has to do with firearms, which they'll call in the tobacco, alcohol, and firearms. They'll call in bomb squad if necessary, but it only happens after the police arrive.
At the scene of that shooting, and the response here was massive. LAPD called a citywide tactical alert. All available officers sent toward the west side, Westwood, where this campus is. There was also an FBI response, and alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives responding here, with SWAT officers doing sweeps of the buildings, having all the students come out with their hands up and checking them to make sure everyone was okay, clearing the buildings one by one.
They make the judgment because it is their jurisdiction. Now, we have sheriffs here too. Some places only have police, some places only have sheriffs, some places have both. But when you see a sheriff show up to an event like this, a so-called school shooting or active shooter scenario, and you know that they have police at that location too, but they don't show up, It's only the sheriffs that are making the comments to the news. No, it's a drill. The sheriffs, that's not their jurisdiction. The sheriff's job is to guard the prisons, to guard the prisoners, and transport them back and forth to court. That's all they do. Yeah, they can pull you over if they see you doing something wrong, but that's not their job. So when you see the sheriffs as the lead investigation group when it comes to these, no, it's a drill. Now, the other thing to understand is, if there's an active shooter going on and there are people running and there are SWAT teams brought in, do you think that they're going to allow the cameraman or news media to come with them, to follow them and to take pictures? No. Their objective is to do their job. It's not to let the media film them doing it. So you won't see people with cameras following them around. Those people will be ordered to stay back. No, it's a drill if you see that. Another thing. Here's another common sense perspective of this whole event. If there is a murder, suicide, or some type of criminal act that somebody was killed, harmed, injured, whatever, property was damaged, there's going to be a criminal case brought against somebody. Or there'll be a wrongful death civil trial. There will be all the normal, typical paperwork that has to go into an investigation. Do you think, especially when there's a so-called murder, do you think that they allow the security cam footage to be released before the investigation even took place? To the media. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand how asinine it is if you believe that this is real? They don't allow evidence that's going to be used either one way or another, if there's going to be a trial or not going to be a trial. But there hasn't even been an investigation yet. They don't release footage to the media. Period. End of story. It's a drill. Get over it. Now, I don't want to hear your baby's aunt's brother's sister's cousin's best friend worked with the professor and knows him, so you know it's real. All right? I'm tired of that crap. Your little troll, how dare you gambits, don't work anymore. We're beyond that. When you say, why would they do this? What would be their reason for doing this? If somebody's breaking into your house, do you care why they're doing it? No. You just want the cops there to arrest the person and hold them accountable. You don't care why they're doing it. Do you think the judge cares why they're doing it when they're pleading their case? No. Do you think the police sit there and go, well, why'd you do it, sir? No. They arrest them. That's what they're there to do. Who cares if an alien or his dog told him to do it? It doesn't matter. Whatever their justification is for their acts, it's the act, the criminal act, that they are held accountable for. Keep that in mind when you have these little trolls that, of course, use the generic icon, because the little trolls don't have a little brain, because if they let them do what they wanted to, they would use copyrighted images as their avatar down there on their account. And, of course, they would get sued for it. And if they got sued, then they would have to go into discovery, and then they would have to reveal who pays them to do their little gig. So they don't want anything to do with that. So the media makes them use a little generic avatar. That's why they do that. So you'll notice all the little comments down at the bottom. They're all going to be the haters. They're all going to be little paid trolls, and all have the generic icons. If you have a generic icon and you're not a troll, then I suggest you take the 2 seconds to click on the link and stick up an image up there. It's very simple. Don't give me the excuse where I don't know how to do that. Well, then you shouldn't be commenting on YouTube anyway, if you don't know how to do that. If you have no subs, no friends, a generic icon, and you're throwing hate, well, guess what? You're a troll. So over the past 5 years, I've been analyzing all these different events, of course, and identifying the actors involved in it, which is something that you'll never see the opposition do. They'll scream, oh, it's a crisis actor, it's this actor, but you'll never hear them actually go and say, well, who is that actor? What's their real name? Let's go knock on their door. Let's go find these people. That's what I do. When I tell you their real address, their birth name, that's something that you will not find on anybody else's investigations, because I'm a real person. They're not. They're paid. They're part of the problem. They're opportunists, or they're paid trolls or paid whatever. I don't get paid by anybody. I don't answer to anybody. As you can tell in my comments, and if you know me, you know what I'm about. So I don't take any crap from anybody, and I don't pull any punches. So if you like what you've seen here in this video and you want to see more, I would suggest you go to my website, wellaware1.com, and become a member. You get access to all the 6,000 plus investigations that I've done, and you of course have access to me to ask me questions. Your memberships are greatly appreciated, and I look forward to seeing more of you on the forums section and contributing your knowledge, your understanding of these events, and hopefully we can inform more people quicker and get these individuals held accountable.